everyone, my name is Leanne and today I'm bringing you a tag video. This is the Happy List book tag, which is essentially all about the things in your books and your reading life that brings you joy. Long and short of it really, I will leave the original creator linked down below in the description so you can check out their original video. I don't think I was tagged by anyone specifically, but I'm really bad at noticing if I've been tagged in anything. Like, I'm utterly oblivious. But anyways, into the questions. The first question is, what is a book that you can always go back to and it brings you happiness? For me, this is definitely Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. It is one of my favourite books and it is one of my most reread books. I think I can come back to this book no matter what kind of reading mood I'm in. If I want something that I feel very familiar and at home with, that I can read really quickly, then I can read this book. The second book, less so. It's definitely the first book that I feel a real connection to. But equally, if I'm in a quite analytical mood, then the first Alice book is one that definitely triggers that kind of thought process in me. I think there is so much to unpick and analyze in that book, and it lends itself to both that kind of critical reading and that kind of easy breezy reading. Love all the motifs in it. I love the language that's used. Yeah, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland is definitely one of my favorites. The next question is, what is your standum? So your ultimate fandom. And I think for this, it's got to be Harry Potter for me. It is the series that I have the longest standing relationship with. It's the series that I have reread the most time. I'm definitely not as obsessed with it compared to when I was a teenager and I had like loads of Harry Potter merch and I had like an encyclopedic knowledge of the series. I definitely still know a lot, and like if I went on Mastermind, Harry Potter would definitely be my specialist subject, but I'm not as crazy about it as I used to be. And now as a critical reader, I definitely see more flaws with it. Reading it in that critical way is something that I really enjoy as well, and no matter how I feel about the flaws in the series or how I feel about its creator, it's a stereotype, but Hogwarts will always be there to welcome me home. The next question is a type of book cover that you will always pick up in a bookstore. I really like pink books because I just like pink things. Although I also did realize recently that like I don't wear a lot of yellow, or I don't like buy a lot of yellow stuff. I don't feel like it massively suits me as a color, but I'm really drawn to yellow books. So I think because that color is slightly lacking in the rest of my aesthetic, it's something that I'm quite drawn to in books. I like quite bold, striking imagery in a book cover. I'm not one of those people that is drawn to subtlety. No, I think it would be really interesting to look at some of my favorite books and see if there are any recurring motifs or cover design styles. Question 4 is a book trope you love. I discovered that I really enjoy fake dating as a trope. I've only read a couple books with that trope, so like To All the Boys I've Loved Before and The Kiss Quotient, but I actually really enjoyed it as a way of getting two people to know each other. And I think it's strange, but in the fact that these two people are being really honest with each other despite deceiving everyone else, it feels like a really honest way for them to get to know each other. But I'm not massively well versed in this trope, so if you have any recommendations, leave a comment down below. The next question is an anticipated release that makes you feel happy when you think about it. For me, this is definitely Eni Aluko's new book, which is essentially her memoir about her life, but specifically about being a female footballer. She has been capped over 100 times for England. She's one of the first female pundits. She's also at the centre of exposing a lot of racial prejudice within the England team at a particular time. I love football. I'm a huge advocate and champion of women's football. I love seeing it have a more prominent presence and it being televised a lot more and gaining popularity. And I would love to hear any thoughts on all of that kind of stuff. I think she's an incredible footballer. She has achieved so much, and the fact that this book exists is something that I love, because when I was younger there were no prominent female footballers. Like, I couldn't see anyone doing that as a career, and I think if I had, it would have completely changed my life. The next question is an author whose full canon of books you love, and I have two answers for this. The first of those is Louise O'Neill. She has 4 books, all of which I have loved. So there is Only Ever Yours, which is like The Handmaid's Tale meets Mean Girls. It's like a feminist YA dystopian. We have Asking for It, which is essentially an analysis of rape culture in Ireland. Almost Love, which is her first adult novel, which is about complicated romantic relationships. And The Surface Breaks, which is a middle grade YA retelling of The Little Mermaid. She's an auto-buy author. She is one of the few authors whose books I will pre-order. I'll just read anything that she writes. The other author is Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I haven't read all of her books, but I've read a fair chunk of them. I think I've read maybe like 5 of her books. Taylor Jenkins Reid is probably most well known for her 2 most recent books, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and Daisy Jones and the Six. I've only read Daisy Jones and the Six. I haven't read The Seven Husbands yet. It's one of those books where I'm so certain that I'm going to love it that I'm slightly scared of it. And I've read quite a lot of her backlist as well. And her backlist is more leaning towards contemporary women's fiction, but I think it is like the ultimate best of the best in that genre. Her characters are always so believable. Her plots are always fascinating. She's an author that just really understands people, and especially she really understands women. So yeah, I've read a lot of her books, but the ones that I have yet to read, I am still really excited to get to. The next question is, what is your coziest go-to reading snack or drink? I think there is nothing better than snuggling down with a book and a big cup of tea and some chocolate. Specifically, what I'm loving recently is the Dairy Milk Choco Latte chocolate. I don't know if you've seen that, or I think it might be like a limited edition one, but it is so nice. It's just like chocolate and coffee. Oh my god, it is so good. But any chocolate will do. Fine by me. The next question is a book that you have shared with family and friends. I think the book that I probably recommend to the most broad range of people is This Is Going to Hurt by Adam Kay. Super popular book. It's sold like over 2 million copies or something ridiculous. And it is the diary entries of a junior doctor. Adam Kay was a junior doctor in the NHS, and he now does a lot of comedy writing. The book is simultaneously heart-wrenching and hilarious, and you really need those moments of hilarity to balance out how difficult some of the subject matters are in this book, both for the patients who are going through very traumatic experiences and their families, but also the tremendous amount of stress and pressure that is put on junior doctors in the NHS. I think because everyone has either been ill or knows someone who has been ill, it's a book that resonates with everyone that reads it. I think that's definitely the book that I've pushed into the most people's hands recently. The next question is, who is a booktuber or book blogger whose content always brings you joy? And there are so many people that I could pick for this one. I think I always really enjoy watching Aoife's videos, even when she's talking about books that I'm not really interested in. Like, I think there's definitely some overlap between mine and Aoife's reading tastes. Aoife from Fred Weasley Died Laughing. But she does read a lot more fantasy than I do, and she reads a lot more like animal fiction than I do. So when I watch Aoife's videos, it's not one of those cases where I have my book wish list open and I'm like making notes, but I feel very calm and relaxed when I'm watching Aoife's videos. I don't know if it's because like we're from the same place and her videos make me feel at home, but I really feel like when I watch Aoife's videos, I'm having like a quick catch up with a friend, and that feels me like leaving really, really good. I'll leave Aoife's channel linked down below if you are unfamiliar with her fantastic work. And the next question is quite a lovely one to finish on. It is, name something about your own content that you really love. I love having this channel as a record of my life. Not only as a record of my reading life and how my reading tastes have changed and progressed, and particular books that have had a real resonance with me in the moment that I read them, but it's a record of my whole life. All the different educational institutions I've had and places I've lived and jobs I've had, relationships I've been in. This channel has been a constant. It's a hobby that I've been able to keep up for years, and it's always been here. Like, there have been slight lulls for a week or two here and there, but it's something that I've never given up on because I love it so much. And I'd also be lying if I said doing these YouTube videos haven't helped me with my career in some way. This channel has also enabled me to make some amazing friends that I wouldn't have met otherwise. Like I just mentioned Aoife. Me and Aoife grew up like so close to each other, and I don't think we would have ever met if it wasn't for YouTube. Even though this channel is on like the smaller side, I love the videos I make. Like, I think you have to be quite egotistical to have a YouTube channel in the first place, but I love rewatching my own videos. I make the kind of stuff that I want to watch, and that's the main thing. And I think that's why I've been able to do it for so long. I look back on videos from years ago, and it's so strange seeing that person, but I'm so glad that I can. I love this channel. I love it so much, and I love this community, and it's great. It's a weird thing to say, but I genuinely don't know what my life would be like if it wasn't for this channel. What a sincere note to end on. I'm not going to tag anyone specifically to do this video, but if it's something that you think would bring you joy, then I really encourage you to do it. It's a really fun tag. If you have any thoughts on anything I've mentioned, do leave me a comment down below. And as ever, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I'll talk to you in my next video.